Well, in that break, Fred Richardson went over and said to the head table, "Hey, fellas,
it was over.
It was over with 6 seconds ago. Why didn't you tell me?" So he explained the rule very nicely, and I trust that they remember the next time.
Toss-up before the season began as to Matt Ruppel and John Morris as to who would wrestle up here. Ruppel getting at 190, and then Steve Vetch drawing the heavyweight crown position by defeating Morris in the wrestle-offs.
Ruppel gets 2.
Now Ruppel knows that he can't fool around. He's got to get a fall here. And Planchi, of course, well, actually, of the two, Planchi is the more veteran wrestler, I guess. He's a sophomore. Ruppel is just a freshman.
When you come from Montana to Bethlehem, Pennsylvania, you have to be considered more than a freshman.
Yeah,
he is from Deer Lodge, Montana.
Standing.
I would not even hazard a guess how many people live in downtown Deer Lodge.
Well, Lehigh again is Scott Hamilton, who was recruited at this weight class, had his shoulder operated on for the second consecutive year, and he will be out for the entire season again. And he was a very heralded wrestler to come here. Good wrestler, but injured his shoulder early in a non-wrestling accident, and unfortunately had to get another operation this summer, so he's been watching from the bench. Several of the...
It is good, though, Larry, to see someone from Deer Lodge, Montana, to show that there is recruiting life west of Pittsburgh, and to bring in some young men from elsewhere around the country. I think that revitalizes the program, and Lehigh, trying to rebuild theirs, did well in recruiting this year. We mentioned Solomon Fleckman, John Morris, Matt Ruppel. The injury to John Epperly, however, hurts a lot. And, of course, Tom Togus' absence is felt strongly. Here's the takedown by Ruppel.
I don't know, but I don't know if Ruppel hurt his back or he's got a slow spasm or something going, but he just looks like he's very cautious in his determination.
Nearly had him on his back, but recovering quickly, Planchi. Sort of that reflex. The same thing happened earlier, you know. As soon as those shoulders go down, he springs right up and turns around on his stomach, which is where you want to be if you're going to lose 2 points. 6-2. Ruppel leading.
Ruppel's pretty good with that wrist control and his body leverage. He has nice hips.
Period ends. Let's look at that takedown again, Larry.
26 seconds left. He just drives in.
Let's go, man.
Covers up, but too much space between his chest and his opponent's chest, and he gets through back onto his knees.
6-2 lead for Ruppel. Wilkes 21, Lehigh 10. Matt Ruppel trying to keep Lehigh in, needs a fall to do it. Mark Planchi fighting him off. Ruppel not been able to convert any combination to make anything even resembling a near fall at the moment. Now got his head trapped, tries to get it out and will try to drive his man down and bring him down again. It's interesting, Larry, how the wrestling fortunes and the character of teams change. I remember in the early years when we were broadcasting Lehigh meets, it was just about a foregone conclusion that Lehigh would win the first 3 matches. I mean, one recruiting year after another. Lehigh always had the lightweights. There always seemed to be trouble in the middle. And at the end, there would be kind of a toss-up. Some fine wrestlers and some others. We can't seem to put that together into one season.
I mean, we always had Colin Kilrain and Mike Brown to put the hammer on, and you could always count on 12 points at the last 2 bouts. And I was just thinking, if Colin and Mike Brown were down there, they'd be a fast 12, because they were pinners from day one. They wanted to be a pinner.
Well, what I always had to admire most about Colin Kilrain was his only wish in life, Larry, was to take your place announcing these matches.
But that Boston accent kept him away.
Braintree.
And I think last I heard he had been serving tour duty in the Philippines. There's a nice cradle, and Ruppel right on his back. Cradled from that position, and Lehigh's Ruppel got caught napping as he went up into a stand. This guy clamped that cradle on the use of the range, and
3-point near fall quickly makes it 6-5.
Went into a choking combination.
Let's look at that.
Watch, when he stands up, he stops. There's the knee and the head side by side, and bang. The kid takes it off from this side. And again, another near fall. Lehigh hasn't had a near fall tonight, and Wilkes pulled about 7 to 10 of them. So there's where the real crisis is on points.
His hand didn't slip around Ruppel's throat. That would have been a fall.
Yes, it would have.
Got that leg in there.
Again, we see control with the legs by Wilkes, even in the upper weights. Unheralded Mark Planchi now trailing 6-5, cutting down on the riding time, working on the bar.
Ruppel's still got the control.
As long as he's got those legs in there, the control stays with Planchi. But it may end up in a stalemate, but he's working on that bar. And there you talk, Marv, about a good bar combination.
Same way.
That not only takes the starch out of you, you put a guy with a single leg on, you're working on bars. Let me tell you, you start to tire.
You stretch that body, you feel that waist coming apart.
But I'm still puzzled from the first period when they went off the mat. I thought for sure that Ruppel looked like he hurt his back. He just, from that point on, he's been sitting up straight. Watch that cradle combination. There it goes again. He drops it over the left leg and drops over the right shoulder. And there's a reversal.
Looked like Planchi may have injured himself on that because he was really very slow. He almost wasn't paying attention to what was going on when he got. Just watch this. Planchi kind of walks away after he gets out of this, and he'll just turn around and kind of lay there, doesn't kind of move, and quickly Ruppel is in for the fall. So it's 8-5, Ruppel leading.
Well, if you don't, I think that range that Planchi has, Ruppel's a tall boy, but Planchi's taller, and that's good with a cradle when you got length. You can make a knee and a nose meet quickly with that range. And as Marv observed, had that cradle not turned into a choke combination, it would have been all over for Lehigh's Matt Ruppel in his inaugural bout for the university.
Time running out in the second period. Ruppel trying to work something, but Planchi is not going to allow it. Getting toward the edge of the mat, the period will end. It'll be 8-5, Ruppel leading. Wilkes College retaining a 21-10 lead. And Ruppel will have just 2 more minutes to get a fall, or Wilkes College will have won their second time in 15 matches against Lehigh. The series began back in the 1973-74 year. Actually, Lehigh hasn't wrestled Wilkes all that much, Larry, in the it's fairly frequent series starting back in 74.
Well, had there not been that tie at 158, our prediction that it would have gone down to the heavyweight bout would be definitely true. But 3-3 tie was something we weren't figuring on.
And at 150, I'm not sure we were figuring on a pin there either, which is what Joe Iannuzzi did on Lane Pendleton. Ruppel trying to bring his man down, and off they go. Walking off the mat, point Lehigh, 9-5.
Let's go. Can't do that.
They both look tired.
Here we go. Let's go. It was a technical violation. 1 point. Technical violation. 1 point.
Technical violation now assessed against Wilkes for some reason.
Well, straggling back off the edge of the mat.
Well, that should be another point, which hasn't gone up on the board, I think. It was 9-5 before Freddie called that. In any event, it's going to be academic because Lehigh will need more than just a decision win to come back here. And Planchi merely has to hold on for another minute. As Ruppel tries to bring him back in. No points awarded. Off he goes.
Now there it is right now. See, he's dragging and what you call straggling back from the edge. There's no question about it, he ran out of gas, but he's wrestling a tough competitor. And takedowns don't mean anything.
I think Vetch would, well, Lehigh would have a chance to tie if he gets a major decision out of this. If Vetch can get a fall at unlimited, so Ruppel neither eats the fall or...
A good lateral drop would be ideal here. Again, double leg dive over the top, and that's a good stall hold. You can hang on to that.
No, that's not going to do it. 15 seconds to go. It looked like there was an opportunity there for Ruppel to convert it, but he didn't see it.
Bar that arm up now and drive it.
But time will run out, and it will be a major victory for Ruppel. 16-6 for Ruppel. Lehigh gets 5 more team points to make it 21-15, and it leaves it up to Steve Vetch, who must get a fall.
They don't get 5 points there, Shell.
No, I'm sorry, 14 points.
Yeah, so it's all over.
Yeah, there was plenty of excitement in that Wilkes corner.
That's right. That's correct. It was 4 points, 21-14. My mistake. A major decision.
Like 32 seconds. Coach.
What's the debate about? Let's listen to Freddie.
He never showed when he went over here. We have a problem here.
What's the final score?
They gave a takedown.
15-6?
Well, they gave a takedown, but he didn't give an escape, and they came back to the mat. And I had him on our feet. And with about 30 seconds left in the match. Now, if that's true, Lehigh should have been on top. Is that the way it should have been? And we have to re-wrestle 30 seconds. The last 30 seconds, we're going to have to re-wrestle.
Oh, you can't do that.
I can't understand that at all.
That's the only way. That's the rule. If it's
What
true,
did they do? What do you mean you put them back on their feet?
Let's just listen.
when they, I thought there was an escape there.
I thought he had the escape.
But
Yeah,
there
no,
was
they went
no...
out of bounds and they were on their feet, and you gave one.
You sure?
He was on top. It wasn't escape, I thought.
Fortunately, Shell, they don't have
what
to
is the
subpoena
score
the
right
tapes.
now?
This was when they went.
And it's not permissible to do so. And as your counselor sitting to your right,
When I went out...
you can deny any infinite knowledge you want.
What I can't figure out is why is there 30 seconds
No,
30
in
seconds.
doubt
Only
here?
from the
Maybe
30 seconds. But there were no points. There were no points.
Yeah, he had another takedown. He had another takedown at the end. They just gave him 2 at the end. They gave him 2 more, so they have to take 2 points away.
Yo, wait.
The score should be 13-6 right now.
That's right, with 30 seconds to go.
Yeah,
But not to take 2
I
points.
think
off.
you're
Take the
saying
2
that-
points off of there, yeah. And this takedown is good, but not the last one. That's not the last
Score's
takedown.
what right now?
13-6.
When they went off the
Lehigh
mat,
with
they should
30
have come
seconds
back
in the
with the
bout.
Lehigh wrestler
With
on
Lehigh
the
on
top.
top.
They came back
Oh, he's on
in a
top?
neutral
Yes,
position.
that's the
I think
best I can
that's
get out of
what this
time.
debate is about.
Yeah, oh yeah, sure. Take a second.
Now there's going to be a brief pause. 13-6 the score revolves back to, and Planchi has to wrestle another 30 seconds here, and John Reese apparently understands that. That is one of the strangest, you think after 19 seasons you've seen it all. Let's look, Larry. Now they're off the mat. The Lehigh wrestler is on top when they go off. So when they come back on now, if we can speed it up a little, because they may wrestle here. Now what's going to happen is they're starting out neutral, which they should not do. Am I right? They
That's
should
right.
start out with the Lehigh wrestler on the top. So we did subpoena the tapes, and that's what happened.
The tapes never lie.
So there's
There
a
was
half a minute.
17-second gap there, though, Shell. I want to check that.
So Ruppel gets a life. Planchi gets a rest. And we get to see, you've heard of the Dempsey-Tunney long count. This is the wrestling version.
That's great. That's great.
Particularly if Ruppel wins or gets a fall, this will really be the long count.
Well,
I think he's going to let him up. Why is he?
You've got to admire the composure of John Reese in that situation. John Reese just said, okay, that's it. Most coaches would have gone into a fit, done backflips, and just carried on unbelievably. But again, we point out John is just that individual who says, well, if that's it, that's it.
And so we'll see whether or not it ends up making a difference at all. 15 seconds to go, and Planchi has gotten his wind back. And Ruppel may be able to bring him down, but Planchi looks like he's fighting it off. And it's a takedown, making it 15-7. So it's gonna end up just the way it did before. It's going to still be 16-7, which is precisely what happened before the minor flap.
And ensures the victory for Wilkes College over Lehigh University.
And so the 16-7 major win puts 4 points on the board. It's 21-14, and Wilkes College has wrapped up this match against